Hello, my name is Eugenia, and today I'm going to show you how to cook one of my favorite meals using red lentils, which is one of my favorite beans. It's a very simple recipe, and you can fix it up, change it up to your liking. That's one of the reasons I like it. This is actually called Red Lentil Dahl. It's an Indian dish. So you're going to need, let's go over the ingredients. You're going to need 1.5 cup of dried red lentils. I washed my lentils. You need about 1 cup of onions. You can use a sweet onion or a white onion. I like the sweet onion. You need about a tablespoon of ginger. Now we grow our own ginger and then we chop it up and freeze it. So I like ginger in my cooking, so I use 2 cubes, which is about a little over a tablespoon. This is about 6 garlics, 6 garlics, and 2 handfuls of spinach. Now you can use kale if you like kale. I'm a spinach girl myself. I really love spinach, so I'm going to use spinach on this recipe. Now the seasonings, this is Garam Masala, which is an Indian seasoning. So use a tablespoon of that, a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a teaspoon of turmeric. Now, if you don't have that, you can also use just a good curry if you don't have all those types of seasoning. Now, I also will be using salt and pepper, but I use it to my own taste. So you can use the salt and pepper to your own taste. You also will need, I use a low sodium vegetable broth, and a can of diced tomatoes. So let's go with that again. Also, squeeze of a half a lemon or so. And a cup of coconut milk. Or you can use less if you don't like coconut milk. So once again, that's a cup and a half of red lentils, dried red lentils. About 1 medium-sized onion chopped. Half a lemon juice, ginger, about a tablespoon, and then garlic, about 6 pieces of garlic, 2 handfuls of spinach or kale or any type of green that you like. And the vegetable broth, you might need about 3 cups. The seasoning, we have Garam Masala, that's spelled G-R-A-M, then M-A-S-A-L-A. A tablespoon of Garam Masala, half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a teaspoon of turmeric. Salt, pepper to your taste. So let's get this thing on the road here. Let's put the oven on, stove on. So first I'm going to saute the onion, and I'm not going to use oil on this. I'm going to use the vegetable broth to saute my onions and garlic. You can use oil if you like. You can use a avocado oil or olive oil if you like. I'm cutting back on oil, so I'm not using oil, mainly because also I'm putting coconut milk in it, and that has enough fat that you don't need more oil. So I'm reducing my oil a little bit. So I'm going to put in my garlic, about 6 cloves of garlic. I'll wait for that to fry. Alright, saute that. Okay. Also, let's see, let me saute, put that up. I can go ahead and put in my ginger. Just waiting for this. So now you can hear that noise. It's salted. The onions are sauteing a bit. I'm going to pour in a little low sodium vegetable broth. And that way you can, so it won't stick to my pan a little bit. See, the onions are still, they're sauteing without oil. This is how you saute your vegetables without using oil. Just give it a little more. Stuck there a little bit. And it smells very good. You can smell that ginger. So without using oil to saute, you save yourself a little, fat there. So if you're on a low fat, low salt diet or a lifestyle, this is a great way to saute without using olive oil or avocado oil or whatever oil you use. Give it a little more. So now I'm going to put in my seasoning. I have, I'll tell you, a teaspoon of turmeric, the red pepper flakes, a half a teaspoon, and a tablespoon of the garam masala. Now, like I said, if you don't have these seasons, just get yourself a good curry, and they pretty much carry all that in it. And this is all in a good curry. Except that garam masala, maybe. I'm going to put a little more. You smell those aroma when it does that. It smells so good. Now this is just a one-pot dish. I'm going to use this pot. Save yourselves a lot of dishwashing. More. Smell that. Next, I'm going to pour in a handful of diced tomatoes. Turn the heat down a little bit. spoon. Next, I'm going to put in my red lentils. Oops, I washed these and now they're getting dried. May not need the whole pot. And then pour in some of my chicken broth, not chicken broth, I'm sorry, vegetable broth. I'll use a low sodium vegetable broth. Beans. Now you let this cook for about 30 minutes. I'm going to put in, I still have my spinach to put in, my coconut milk, and lemon and salt and pepper to taste. So next I'm going to go ahead and pour in my milk. This is coconut milk. Go ahead and put in a little salt. Fresh pepper. So we're going to let that cook medium low for about 30 minutes. And then all we have left is the spinach and the lemon. So after about 30 minutes, you'll get a nice little creamy type. The beans have almost, flattened out, melted, like, it's pretty creamy. So now it's time to put in the spinach. Now the spinach will just melt in there because you know how spinach is. I'll just put in whole spinach. spinach just makes the meal even more nutritious. Very healthy spinach. See, it's just going to melt in there. My pot is pretty full now anyway. So you put the spinach in, you let it cook for another, I'll let it cook for another 30 minutes. Now you need to watch it so it doesn't, if you need more vegetable broth, just go ahead and add it in. You need about 3 cups of vegetable broth, depending on how much. See, the spinach is just melting away. So now we got the spinach in. Got one more ingredient, and that's the lemon juice. The coup d'etat. There we go. We got the spinach, we got the lemon. I have it on low medium heat. I'll probably let it stay there for another 30 minutes. So all those seasonings can blend in there well. Now this dish can be, for a full meal, just put it over a bed of jasmine rice, farro or quinoa, brown rice, or you can just use it as a side dish alone by itself. And so there you have it. Here is my favorite dish, one of my favorite dish with using red lentils, Red Lentil Dahl. Very simple, great taste, very nutritious, and everyone will love this dish. Even if they're meat eaters, they'll love this dish. There's no meat. Only fat I used was the coconut oil. I stir fry mine using the vegetable oil. I'm using a vegetable broth, excuse me. So now we're going to see the final results of that cooking. We have here, you can see that the spinach has just like melted into the dish. Could probably use more spinach if you have it. It still has that nice creamy texture. And it's going to go great over a bed of jasmine rice or farro, like I said, or quinoa, brown rice, or as a side dish, just, because you can make a meal out of this. Let me go ahead and get a little taste. Goodness, it's good. So, taste it if you want, if you might want to put more salt or pepper or whatever season you like. But this is great. And don't forget the lemon.